See if... Okay, so hello, welcome everyone. I'm so pleased today to be interviewing my very first interviewee here, Amanda Bowden. And is that correct, Amanda?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
I just wanted to add in another D in your name. And so today I've got the wonderful Amanda who's going to tell us about her book. And if I could just get you to introduce to the viewers and tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. My name's Amanda Bowden. I'm a transitional coach. I'm a certified NLP coach. I help people to discover their authentic selves and to manifest the life you want, with passion, purpose, confidence, and to literally find your purpose really and who you are. Yeah, so the book Spirology, Reflection of Self, wrote back to me. It started out as a journal, and I thought nothing of it first of all, and I was just writing down, scribbling notes. And then one day, one of my guys came in and said, we're going to turn this into a book. And I was like, oh my God, are we really? And I thought, wow, because it was quite personal. And it literally kind of starts at the beginning of my awakening. We have gone through some experiences with some people in my life who have really kind of taught me how to look after myself and self-care, because one of the characters was a sociopath, the other one was a psychopath. And so it was kind of learning the tools, recognizing patterns that were coming up, and learning new boundaries and different things. And then it kind of evolved from there. And all the knowledge that I've kind of learned going through my awakening up until now, becoming a coach, is literally all within the book. And I kind of communicate with my guides through numbers, which probably many of you know, like as angel numbers. But I kind of changed the name of it to universal numbers, because I don't just use them to connect with my guides. I also use them to connect with my higher self as well. And like we all have, before we come here, we kind of make our contracts for our life and plan out who's going to be in our soul family, etc. And so like those, I suppose, is around 12 higher selves at the moment. They connect through the numbers with me as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated, and what attracted to me to you to having this conversation was when you read an excerpt, a segment from your book, Spirology, and it just got me so excited. I learned new information. It was, you know, you were only on the video for about 5 minutes. I recall seeing you in the Freedom Directory, a Facebook group that we're both part of, which is, I believe, has come around as part of as COVID. You know, I believe it's part of the pandemic, the reprieve for therapists and healers to actually feel safe or attract clients who potentially may be on the outside of society and not really looking at being in society and wanting to do all the compliance. So that was really exciting to meet you there, and particularly the segment that you read about was that first segment was where you were. It was great because it was very personal, and it felt like I was in the room with you when you were reading it. It's like talking about your intuitive guidance and then the actions that you were following. I just loved hearing it. It was very personal. And then I looked for you again, and I found another excerpt, I think on YouTube, which was, or it might be in the next day. I think you were putting them up in the group quite frequently.
Yeah.
And you were sharing a whole new description about the chakras. And I did my Reiki 25 years ago, and when I did my Reiki training, I was led to believe there were 7 chakras, and I didn't really have the new updated information about soul stars and this new, for me, it was new understanding, or more updated understanding. So yeah, that was interesting. And so today I just wondered if there was, would you like to read a part of other viewers? Would you like to share some segments from the book, or is in particular that would be pertinent?
So I've kind of got the part with the universal numbers, and myself as an experiment and universe connection, if that's okay.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. Yesterday, Tuesday, May 12th, 2020, I was guided to buy a new laptop through listening to my own intuition and the help of my spirit team through universal numbers. I was a bit anxious to buy the new laptop and put it on my new credit card, especially as I was so excited to be able to clear my old one in the next 2 weeks, which added to the fuel. I talked out aloud and rationalized the idea that I am extremely good at managing money, and self-discipline in this area can be overboard at times, as I do cut my own nose off to spite myself sometimes to pay the card off as quick as possible, leaving me short in the now. That said, I eventually did it anyway after a set of numbers shown for guidance at the right time. The first being 1010, listen to your intuition. Yep, check. 3-3, I had listened to the guidance, and then 2-2, have faith and trust in us and yourself. And I have had some past experiences that have brought forward proof to the trust in the guidance system and my guides. Also, to see the numbers 555 whilst doing my work on the laptop was confirmation that a positive change is coming in. And this is exactly what I did, and went off for a bike ride with my daughter. I then wake up this morning, Wednesday, the 5th of May, 2020, at 5:55 a.m. to have a YouTube video on my phone with the same on it, out with the old and in with the new. Also 222 along the way, doing some research on personal development. The universe always has your back, and there is no need to feel lonely, as your guides are always around you, waiting in excitement to be called in to assist and be asked for help with anything that is currently going on for you. Nothing is too big or too small for these guys. They help us to live from a higher perspective of life, one that our higher selves knows so well. And all we need to do this is become aware. P.S. I've just printed the receipt off for the new laptop, and order number has 444. Everything is fine, no need to worry. And it's the sign I ask for when it's all right to spend money. Love it. Thank you, team. I love the universe. How it works, it amazes me.
Oh, that's so much fun, isn't it? I love it too. As like that little bit at the end where on the receipt you actually saw the detail and the number as like, oh, this is a detail lady. I really love that you were, aware and looking and seeing, actually. Sometimes I know from my own habits, like, I might not listen, or I might have to hear things 3 times before I take action. So that was just so lovely to hear you.
Well, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
The funny thing is, on the back of the book, there's, I don't know if you can see that, there's like a code on there.
Oh yes, yeah.
And it has 444. I was like, oh my God, when it arrived, I was like, that's amazing. Out of all the numbers. So
isn't that beautiful how everything is interrelated? And yeah, and it's so interesting because I've just been out just to get some fresh air before we came on here. Yeah. And I've been leaning in to tree messages, and and I've had friends say, Gail, trees don't speak to you, you're a little bit crazy, trees don't actually speak to you. And I was like, well, this one does, and the message I got just as I leant into the tree today was, we've got your back. And
Oh
it's
my
that
God.
you
That's,
saying that now is
oh my
like
God.
I've already had that intuition just 10 minutes before we
Oh,
started.
wow.
So it's just beautiful when we see these synchronicities, when we're listening and when we're, when we're really in tune. I'm like a child here jumping up and down. So just love
So
it.
it's nice to have the validation, because when you're shown something, and if it's meant to be, it gets repeated to you, doesn't it? And more synchronicity, definitely, when you're aligned on your path with things.
Absolutely, yes. And I just wondered if you would like to share, your ideal client. Who are your ideal clients? Do you have a type? Do you specifically know the success that you receive? The clients that you work best with. Because I just wanted to share that the work that I've been doing as an intuitive guide, a lot of the clients that have been coming to me have been around my age, and they may have had challenges in relationships, maybe codependency, toxic relationships that you talked about, psychopaths and sociology, I can't even say it, sociopaths. So I feel like we're in this arena together, all healing this universal wound in the patriarchal, women standing up and rising up together. Do you have a type particularly, Amanda?
It's funny because generally it is people that come to me, and they're kind of gone past the part where they've been in the kind of difficult relationship part, and they're kind of looking towards themselves, almost like a what do you call it? Like a soul discovery, to find out who they are, because sometimes when you go through difficult times, you can lose part of your identity, and you're kind of going through like a transition period, and you're kind of looking for information as well, I guess, and wanting to find somebody who's actually been there and kind of gone through the experiences, because you can understand far more better empathetically, and I think you build the rapport up better as well, because you've actually been through things. But generally I do work with like professional intuitive professionals and business owners, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess some people kind of like with the spiritual path, they can feel a bit stuck or like they're on their own as well. And so sometimes it's nice to have someone who's walked that little part of the journey and can kind of guide you, and like say you're not on your own, you know I'm here for you. And it's good for people to like connect and reach out, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. And that feeling of safety, that's very important. And I'm actually feeling that safety with you, that groundedness, that depth of training and professionalism. I know you've done a lot around mental health. You've done mental health first aid, and that basic foundation, the counselling course as well, which I think is great for understanding psychological principles and people in general, isn't it? Having that basis. That's really what I find exciting about your work. You've done the grounding, and that you are bringing all of you, all your skills and knowledge and wisdom into this kind of. I'm looking forward and going, we're in the future, Aquarius, and age of Aquarius, we need to be online, and we need to be in person, and we need to get, we need to be, people need you and need to know about you. And so this to me felt like it was, you're probably well known in your area. I don't know if you primarily work in person or if you work online.
Both, I would say. I do love working in person, face to face. You cannot beat working face to face, but I do also do online as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the spirology kind of concept has come from like bridging the science and the psychology, and so I guess the words come from like psychology and spirituality, so putting it together, because I love knowing how things work, like especially spirituality stuff, because it helps consciously as well then for your mind to understand how it works, and it's not just kind of, oh, you know, this airy fairy thing. It's actually, there is stuff behind it that you can explain, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know people are factual people, and they want knowledge, don't they? They want to know that it's based in some sort of sciencey or psychology and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's great. So I'm going to just throw another question in here and ask you, you know, do you have a vision for where you see yourself in maybe 5 years? Is that a bit of a long whole question? Yeah.
It's not, believe it or not, like I would eventually like to open kind of a retreat for families. I mean, there's a lot of people out there whose children are awake and aware, and I believe there are many parents who've been chosen by children to kind of bring them up, and sometimes it can present, because they're coming in at a higher frequency now, it can present as ADHD, ASD, that kind of thing. And it's kind of working with things like that and helping parents to understand as well. And I'm sure they're quite knowledgeable anyway, because they, you know, if they know about their children being awake, they'd be awake themselves. So that's where I would like to go eventually.
Yeah, that's so interesting, because I feel like sometimes with the medical model, we are needing labeling. You know, the labeling is the thing that the parents might be struggling with. So they need that label to be able to get the diagnosis, so that then they know what the treatment is.
Yeah.
And often people can't be put into one box, can they? So
No.
I do feel that, you know, it's very much right now about more holistic approaches. And you know, I'm really enjoying the fact that the systems are starting to crumble, because it means that the, you know, these other federations are now formulating. And like, obviously, where I met you on that holistic, on the directory, the Freedom Directory is all part of this new growth, isn't it? And forming the new foundations.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm not discrediting, you know, psychologists or anything like that, but like sometimes we go through experiences and you cannot pick that up in colleges or uni or anything, and we have help from our guides and different things. And as an intuitive, you kind of know as well, like say about your child and different things. You know yourself, you know, that you, don't get me wrong, I'm not too crazy on labels. I rather say like neurodiversities, psychology, because it's more of an open-minded way of looking at it. And it doesn't put you in that little box, because we're all different. And that's kind of what I believe.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, because I feel that you are the missing link from my generation to the next generation, where, you know, without the diagnosis, without the label, we wouldn't get the support in my generation. And so, you know, this is wonderful, because you are the future, you are the next generation. And, you know, there's a lot of parents out there, I imagine, that need what you are offering. And even, you know, if they're not intuitive, I believe what you're sharing is that ability to really relax, you know, because, and I know being a mom or being a parent is incredibly challenging, you know, with the world, what they're going on with, you know, just navigating the normal day-to-day routine of having young children is incredibly, you know, to be present with your child, to be there for them, and to be giving them that nourishment and nurturing that they need. Definitely. As well as, you know, all the other emotional needs that go on. It takes, you know, I'm a parent of 3 children, and I know it's no easy feat bringing children into the world. So
I think now, like, they're coming through, and I wrote about, I think this is second book that I've been doing, but I've written in there like how us as the older kind of generation, we've had to learn how to connect our heart and mind. But we're, like I've seen with my daughter, she's already connected and they're both working in sync already. And like with each generation that's coming through, they're evolving more, and they're like the one step further, as like Dolores Cannon said, you know, with each new generation that comes through, they have different gifts and different insights and different ways of looking at things. And I truly believe that whatever we start, like you're saying now, then the younger generation will pick it up and carry it on and kind of evolve it, which is cool.
It's brilliant. I feel that they probably don't need the books, like you say, but I do feel generally, you know, I'm making judgments here about my generation, but you know, to educate and to stay informed, I feel is like, you know, how we get to evolve, how we step over into this new earth, and how we can thrive rather than just surviving. You know, it's about bringing all those sensory elements of, you know, of each of everyone to function and to bring that, you know, understanding. So I know I'm a new grandparent, so I feel like I'm having to you know, I'll be relearning some new skills as well, being a grandparent, which is so exciting.
No, I think it's amazing though that you're actually reaching out to like the next generation and connecting, because I find some are kind of stuck in their ways and they kind of don't want to evolve, I guess, and move forwards. They know where they are and they've done that like for a long time, but you're kind of embracing it, and I love it. I think it's
Thank
good. No, it's good.
I feel a bit like I have been waiting for this time in my life. It's like I've been practicing all these years, learning all these different massage techniques, and learning about energy. And now I feel like actually it's just my time now to be able to share this. It's like a time in waiting for me.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's wonderful to connect with you and to have this this new knowledge and this you know, energy. I really love that you are bringing this knowledge and this writing, and I'm curious what your next book is going to be called, because that's I would love to know about. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. At the moment it's kind of same Spirology, and then oh my god, sorry, my daughter's kind of interrupting. Sorry.
Hello. What's your does she want to come and say her name?
Please. Oh my god, there you go, there's the next generation.
Oh.
Babe, no, a minute now, come on please. Yeah, so I'm kind of up till now sticking with the Spirology theme. Oh yeah. Babe, stop now.
Does she want to come and introduce herself and put a beautiful face on?
Want to come say hello? Yeah. Yeah? No.
Oh,
no.
She's shy now.
She's run off.
Oh.
Oh, love kids. She's laughing on the dog. Started off good. Yeah, up till now, I called it Spirology and the Hero's Journey, so I don't know. Oh, babe, that's in there, please, come on.
Oh.
So I'll have to just wait and see. Oh my god.
I think she's desperate for your attention, and
I'm sorry, but
I would just like to say we can wind it up here now and just say, you know, how can people get in touch with you and your daughter?
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I'm on TikTok, and sorry guys about this, and I'm literally in the middle of building a website now. So
excellent. Oh, that's lovely. And it's Holly, isn't it? Holly, come and show your face.
Come and say hello.
Because you're told. Hello, beautiful. Hello. Hello.
No, you.
Well, thank you so much for today, Amanda and Holly. And I will just
Ellie, that's
Hand
enough.
you over, and I will
Yeah.
Okay.
say bye-bye for now.
Yes, thank you.